Hi Taurus, welcome to your Astro Reels. It's my pleasure to read for you per the usual. As you know, these readings are absolutely timeless and signless, so you don't have to be watching at the time that I'm making it and publishing it, okay? And you also don't have to have any significant Taurus placements in your chart for these messages to be for you. If they are for you, then hey, they're for you. Of course, use your discernment. If you don't resonate with them, I would invite you to take a step back, come back in a few hours or a few days and see how the reading fits then. Chances are the energies were not manifest enough for you to kind of put it into perspective as yet. But yeah, so that's my suggestion. All right, if you'd like to work personally with me, get some stuff going on, you know exactly where to find me. Same place as always. A compassionate heart, no spaces, a compassionate heart, no spaces, on Etsy. You can also follow the link on this page. All right, so let's jump in. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. As I was just saying in the Aries reading, which I just finished recording, but I haven't published yet. And it will be published a day before I publish this, so you'll get it. There's a lot of restructuring going on within our energetic anatomy. We're getting a lot of work done within our templates in particular, and a lot of things, the manifestation of that, how it's going to appear for us in our physical, is that there's going to be a lot of dismantling of ideas, a lot of discarding of items and of things, right? And also just restructuring in general. For example, if it's in a company, you may see corporate restructuring, changes in billings, that's interesting. They're saying a playbill. So for a lot of maybe even like, changing of cast members, it's very specific. For example, in any plays that are going on or any movies or just, yeah, maybe movies, but I'm not feeling that as strong. Something's going on where different casts, but they're not saying it figuratively here, like, oh, we're having a new cast of characters in our life. No, that feels very, very specific. So for somebody here dealing with the theater world or something like that, you may find that certain people are being replaced as the head of the show or, you know, things of that nature. So just so you know. But for you, Taurus, Taurus, you're really great at sensing BS. in a lot of people, you have a good BSometer. And part of that, I mean, not all of you, obviously, but part of that could be simply because you just keep it simple with a lot of stuff. You could be a little bit black and white with things, and it's just kind of like yes or no, right? And that's the case with, yeah, I see that for some of you. But what I saw as I started, just as I was about to press play to record, a card totally, like I was shuffling, a card flew out. Well, you saw these two, but one of them flew out, and it was the Seven of Swords deception card. So there's something that is being weeded out here, and I think that you're going to be seeing something or learning about something you probably may have already. For some of you, you may have uncovered or had something revealed to you, some untruth in someone else. Yeah, of course it could always be you, because these things always reflect in untruths about ourselves that we may or may not have the consciousness at the moment to make a relationship between, right, to see that association. But anyway, something that you may have uncovered, and I'm getting this could have been for some of you even as early as 4 months ago. All right, so I'm seeing that here, and I'm also see how this fell. 1, 2, it looks almost like a T, letter T, boop, but pulled apart. So the truth, something about the truth is coming, like something is, what was the word that I just heard? Coming apart. The truth is coming apart. Now, I don't know because when we think of the truth coming apart, we think of an unraveling of something, right? And as we started this video, we talked about things unraveling, being dismantled. And we understand that anytime things are dismantled in the energetic field, what starts to happen is revelation, meaning we start to have things revealed to us that were previously hidden, things that we couldn't see before, but that may have been there. Any restrictions in place to our seeing has been removed, so then we can put the pieces together and make sense of it from a higher perspective, and we can see the delusion behind it, right? So there is and I'm getting also an unmarking, right? So there's the Justice card. So some of you, this is kind of cool. Some of you may be getting a get out of jail free card here going on. So vindication is coming up. because whenever we have revelations, we have vindications. And then for some of you, you may be having to take a step down. Some of you may be feeling like you have to take a step down. Look at this, the surrender card, right? Now, I want you to know that this surrender card is not taking the step down. It's all a matter of perspective, right? It's putting things into perspective. Now, on this channel, we talk a lot about multidimensionality. And when I do these readings, I'm accessing different levels of the field. And so when you're really low, focusing on the lower dimensions or whatnot, you get the names, the faces, the people, the he said that, she said that, blah, blah, blah. When you're reading, the higher up in the field that you read, the more you're not looking at those things, you're looking at the energetic dynamics, the way things relate to each other in the energy field. And the higher up you go, the more you realize that all of this is really 5 minutes, 55 seconds. It's not necessary, right? It's just because the truth is that we are all one. That's oneness, right? That's the I am presence. And so when you're that high in the field, you're not looking at all of these things and the world affairs and all of that, and you're dismissing those things because you see them for the unreality that they are. So sometimes if you read some of the posts that I publish and some of the videos that I give you, when we're talking about those things, about what's real and what's not, about oneness, about the I am presence, we're accessing higher dimensions of perspective. And as I always tell you, from that high of a field, there's no such thing as chosen ones and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And no, there's not, because we're all one. And of course, as A Course in Miracles, which is a very high vibing book, it's high up there, right? As it talks to us all the time about it, tells us there's no such thing as special relationships. So whether you're a light worker, starseed, or chosen one, or all this doesn't matter. It's just for the sake of, labeling. But from a high perspective, it's just, no. At a lower, like as we go lower into the field and into these dimensions, then we start to, and now we're in duality, we do start to see things like roles. Like, oh, this person's playing this role. Yes, you are the teacher and I am the student, for example, right? Those are necessary because they're looking at the function of what's happening. What's the function? So if you're a light worker, for example, your function is to help people to awaken. If you're a starseed, your function is to help people awaken. These are functions. What's Archangel Michael doing? He's a function. He's protecting. These are functions. But the problem that human beings make is that we attribute, out of our own unmet needs, ideas of specialness, right? So here we are back up at higher level of the field, looking at what we do down here, right? From a higher level of the field, we can see very easily that when people look to be special, when they want to be famous, when they want their name to be known, when they want to do this, when they're caught up in their victim consciousness, when they're there with their martyrdom, when they're, all of this stuff, when we're calling people out, when we're injustice and blah, 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 and all that stuff, all we're doing is we're from a higher level of the field, we're fighting against ourselves, because there's no other. It's you, us. We're the same. So right now, I'm you, but the function from this higher level field, I am you. We are the same. We are, right? There's no separation. That the function that I'm playing down here in this duality, where you see me as Janelle being hi, and I see you as whoever you are, God bless you, right? The function is I'm reflecting back to you, a part of you that wants to have access to this higher information, right? To remind you of what is. What is that there is no good, there is no bad, there is no right, there is no wrong, there is no up, there is no down, there's no me, there's no you. How can you have comparatives when there's only one? In fact, you would never know that you're short or tall unless you saw something else. And even more insidiously, unless someone told you that it existed, and it doesn't really, but they told you. This is where society comes in with the programming. You get told, you get browbeaten, you get conditioned, you get put into schools, you get put into work, you get put into, you're ostracized. Society says this person's better than you because they have that. And this is programming. It's not real, okay? So this is why we're looking at the truth unraveling. And as you advance yourself spiritually, meaning your energetic frequency, your energy field, while you're here on earth, the vessel that you're in, energetic, I'm not just talking about your physical body, that's only one part, the energetic field that you're in, your specific auric field, the more you heal that, healing is just healing perceptions, the more you do your inner work and your shadow work, you accept things, you confront things, you release things, you come to terms with things. The more you're doing that, all you're doing is bringing yourself higher and higher and higher into awareness of what is, right? So you're taking back your control and your programming and all of that, and you're just getting rid of it. And you're doing your best, you're surrendering. And part of that surrender is going to have to be you realizing that a lot of the titles that you want to hold, whether it's you want to be the main character, you want to be, the star, you want to be the big guns in the room, or whether you want to like be the small person because you think that the big people are big bullies, and all this stuff no matter what you look at it as, you must understand it's stemming from something within you, from a belief. And most of these things come from these unmet wounds inside. I need to be seen. So people need to hear me, right? And so these are things, 11 minutes, 11 seconds, that as you start to see your woundedness and your needs and start to meet them for yourself and calling in higher perspectives for yourself, from yourself actually, right? For yourself, what starts to erode is your need to express in a certain way in this world. And so that's why, as much as I, talk about some people being down here having very much spiritual rank, because that's definitely what I see. I will tell you that 100%. I definitely see that. Always remember, way up, we're all one. But as we incarnate and we come down here and we, some people just do hold more of a gravitas, more of a whatever you want to say, and that's because they have more of their consciousness inside. Their energy field is capable, because of the inner work that they've been doing across lifetimes, right? The healing work, things, their body, their mind, their vessel, all of that is capable of holding more consciousness. So the more you heal yourself, the more downloads that you can hold. Right? And then, that's just how it is. That's more of a ranking down here than someone who is just moving on instinct and there's no consciousness at all. And we know people like that. It's just, maybe we've been there at some point in our lives as well. But you can also tell that the higher the being is as well in their heart space and such, they also understand that their spiritual ranking is not about better or worse. That's when they understand from, what's really going on at the top. There's no special relationships. I'm here to do a job. I have more rank here because I have more capacity here. It doesn't make me better or worse. It gives me the ability to bring through more frequency of a higher nature to assist in others. So do you see? So when you have people out here calling themselves certain things and this and that, and yes, some of them may be just using it as a way to label themselves so that they can be found by people who need it, but the vast majority of those are buying into the belief that is, that means that they're better than other people. So you always want to use your discernment. You always want to use your discernment. And as the guides talk about a lot, Taurus, and whoever you are, the heart chakra is a frequency. When it's activated, it puts properly into perspective all of the other chakras. So yes, like I said, you can have a really open third eye chakra and you see beyond, but if you don't have your heart up to speed, now you're just a random person with metaphysical abilities and let's see what you do with it, right? But when your heart literally is in the right place, then you have the ability and you have the wherewithal to understand that you're serving a function. And this function does not speak to your value and definitely doesn't rank you higher or better or worse than anybody else in the reality of what is way at the top, okay? Right here in this duality, it is your label in order to do certain things. But don't sip the Kool-Aid and treat others as though they were not. Okay? Anyway, so yeah, we see this Four of Coins in reverse. Yeah, it's time to let go of a lot of these things, this fake love, Page of Cups, all right? There's the Lover's card. Get with it. This is the call to truth, all right? God bless you. Tower. Yep, exactly. Bye.